everyone. Welcome back to yet another Super Royals live stream. So it's been a while since we last met. I think it was just before the IPL season began. हम काफी खुश थे. We were all excited about the season to go by, and we are still happy. And you all know why. Because of the position Rajasthan Royals are in. It is a very unusual feeling for us because पिछले एक साल was really challenging years for us as Rajasthan Royals in the last few years. This time at the halfway mark, we are here to basically review the entire season so far at the halfway mark. So we'll have lots of wonderful discussion. We are joined by a full packed Super Royals with us on the panel. We got a debutant in us. Mihir Jain is here with us. So Mihir, obviously looking forward to the show.
Yeah, sure. Looking forward to the show.
Exactly. You can see Mihir and Vinay. Vinay is finally wearing the pink jersey. So अगर comment section में आपने notice किया होगा, in the last stream we actually called Vinay out for wearing that black jersey all the time. So now for once he's wearing that pink, and that is why you can see the change of fortunes in the Rajasthan Royals team. So good to see you here, Vinay, as well.
Thanks,
We
sir.
also got Upayan with us. So Upayan, great to see you, buddy, and also Rishikesh. We met him in the previous stream as well. So these are the Super Royals with us on the panel, and let's also have a look who are joining us in the comment section as well. Amazing Royal, yes, भाई करेंगे बात जरूर जरूर बात करेंगे सबके बारे में बात करेंगे. Basil is also there, Kanishk is also there. So really, hopefully, we have a wonderful interaction with the comment section as well. But begin करते हैं मीर भाई, since आप debutant हो, let us have you face the first ball. So we talked that ki basically this stream is about reflecting upon Rajasthan Royals journey in this season so far. So as a RR fan, what are your thoughts on the last 7 matches that we played?
So yeah, ऐसा शायद है ना 3 साल बाद हुआ है कि अपन फिर से लग रहा है कि प्लेऑफ में इस साल है ना पहुंचेंगे. वी वर इन द प्लेऑफ इन 2018 लास्ट आई थिंक. सो या वो 3 साल थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं था, लेकिन सबको पता था कि एक अगर बड़ा ऑक्शन आएगा ना, मेगा ऑक्शन, तब फिर से पूरी टीम है ना रिबिल्ड होगी, रीडेवलप होगी. और अभी आरआर जहाँ बैठी है नंबर 3 पे आई गेस, बहुत ही अमेजिंग फीलिंग है. It feels so amazing that seeing my favorite team in the top 4, and we all hope ki RR will finish in the top 2 at the end of the season. So yeah, really looking forward for the next 7 matches. And
Exactly,
and
and yeah, continue.
and yeah and one thing I would like to mention, that the 7 matches we played with that intent, with that passion, was just amazing to see the energy of all the players on the field. So yeah, really looking forward for the next 7 matches. And I'm sure that ये 7 मैच भी शायद अपने लिए इससे भी है ना बेहतरीन जाएंगे.
Exactly, and जैसे मीर ने कहा कि he's hoping that RR will finish in the top 2. तो कनिष्क भाई, yes, we love that Joe is saying that playoff में ही नहीं, final भी खेल रहे हैं Rajasthan Royals. So we also added a little poll for you guys in the comment section. So the poll says, do you think RR will make top 2 or top 4? तो currently 6 लोगों ने vote किया है. Majority of the votes are saying that we will finish in the top 2. So yeah, we haven't finished in the top 2 since 2008. So hopefully this is our year
Fingers
to
crossed.
finish there and get that extra added advantage in the playoffs. Anyways, let's hope for the best. Coming to you, Vinay. Obviously, Mihir spoke about the last 7 games that has went by. So I just want to ask,
Yeah.
like, out of the blue, like we have seen lots of memorable games in the season so far. So what was that memorable game or an innings, according to you, which you felt that this was the moment of the season for me?
Yeah, look, I think it comes down to Joss Buttler and his couple of centuries that he's scored, because he's really set the team up for us to defend the totals. And so, the last 100 that he made, I think, Sancho, you were at the ground, weren't you, at the time? I mean, that would have been incredible to experience that. But he really is in form at the moment. And being the cap holder at the moment, you can see him probably breaking Virat's record. I think is it 793 or something. So yeah, he's on his way. So memorable performances by a lot of the team members, like Jahal's hat trick a couple of matches ago. But for me, I think even Sanju's quick fire 40 the other night in 19 balls, whatever, that really set the total for the highest score of 222. So it's hard to pin it down to like one person performance, but I think all round the team's performing. But I think hands down to Joss for giving those runs and setting really good scores and setting the tempo for a lot of the batsmen to come in.
Exactly, indeed. I mean, yes, I finally have that person who actually talked about that Sanju's innings as well. A lot will actually reflect highly on what kind of an inning Josh played, Prasid's spell. But that Sanju's cameo in that last game, I think it was really crucial. So we can see already Sanju Samson being spammed upon in the comment section as well. Basil, we are all very happy with the way how Sanju Samson has played so far, and even captain in this season. And Sonu Sreshta is saying Halla Bowl all the way. Indeed, definitely, it's been Halla Bowl for us in this season. But coming to you, Upayan. So while we talk about Rajasthan Royals, जब तक हम बात करेंगे about Rajasthan Royals in this stream, let us also talk about our competitors in this league so far. So, कितने matches? 7 matches, 8 matches since teams have played. Which team, according to you, like apart from Rajasthan Royals, has really impressed you the most?
I personally feel that Sunrisers Hyderabad has done really well. Like पहले कुछ matches में they were completely battered, and thereafter they made the comeback. उन लोगों का टीम में राशिद खान जैसा एक बड़ा होल है अभी भी है, और they want Washington Sundar to fill that hole, and they're trying their best. At the same time, their captain is not in form; he's not scoring enough runs. But in spite of that, how they have managed to put that side, like initially they had the worst run rate among all the teams, and I think now they have the best run rate. So that is quite a comeback for them. And I really like the fact that we don't have to play them anytime soon in the league, at least. So I've really been impressed by how they've come back.
Exactly, and उपायन तूने तो मतलब दिल की बात छू ली मतलब we played SRH at the right time, like पहले ही आके we played them, and at the moment they really look
उन लोगों को पता भी नहीं था
unstoppable.
उन लोगों का टीम कॉम्बिनेशन क्या होना चाहिए.
Exactly, and even Marco Jansen didn't play that game,
Yes.
and we can actually proudly brag that कि तुम लोग SRH के सामने you are facing the dangerous SRH bowling attack. Boss, we scored 200 against SRH, so
Yes.
I don't think any team will score that. But yeah, I think they have been brilliant. Same question, Rishikesh. So basically, कल के opponents के बारे में भी बात करते हैं. So we are playing possibly our biggest game so far in this season right now against RCB, our top two rival maybe. Yes, the last match for them didn't go that well, but they are still very much contenders for that top two spot. So, any words on RCB? Which player do you think that we should really be looking forward to actually be wary about? So, I know that Dinesh Karthik to रहेगी. We were there on in Wankhede on that dreaded night. So, do you think that same thing will happen for us?
Well, I can't say about Dinesh Karthik much, but I think Virat Kohli can be back in form with us. So let's see कि वो 2 मैच जो विराट कोहली ने फेस किया है, I guess वो build up हो रहा है, and he's waiting for that one innings to turn his form. So I guess he's a player to watch out actually. So yeah, let's see. Really excited, and I guess we'll be winning this match. But yeah, Virat Kohli can be the danger X factor for us, for them.
Exactly. For them, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
we all know that Virat Kohli. I think before last 2 seasons, like before last season, Virat didn't really have a better record against RR. But we never know. I mean, every player somehow finds a way to play well against her. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I mean, we all love. I think everyone on this panel loves Virat Kohli the most, and we want him to get back to scoring runs. But यार कल नहीं, कल एक ऑफ डे ले ले, फिर से आराम करो, and hopefully from the next game onwards. So yes, Virat Kohli definitely will be a player to watch out for from that particular team. Nikunj bhai, fellow Super Royal is saying, why are other teams also playing well when RR is also playing at their best? Tough competition. I mean, it is so often we have seen this. So Vinay, I mean, we have seen the domination of CSK, we have seen the domination of MI over the past few years. But did you ever
Yeah.
think that this tournament so far will be so fiercely competitive? Like almost five or six teams are on 8 or 10 points, which is I think the first time this has happened. So, what do you think the
Yeah.
mindset will be like? One loss and you can straight away go from top two to top seven, like in a flash. So, what
Yep.
do you think the mindset of the players will be right now?
Yeah, look, I think we're halfway through. There's still 7 games left now. Net run rate is going to play a big factor. We know that because it's so close in the 16. MI aside, I think CSK they're kind of going to get a few points back, but there's there are literally 6-7 teams now that can get the top 4 spots. So we've got to take the opportunities. We've got to make sure we win the matches, but also look at the run rate as well, net run rate, because I think that's going to play a big factor in the next couple of weeks when we close down on the final games. But yeah, like you said, it's so open. You see SRH coming through with their form, Gujarat Titans. they've only lost one match, and so and Lucknow they're doing pretty well. So it's all open. You know, each team is very very good. They've got very talented players, but we've just got to stick in there. Like Sanju's leading from the front, making some good captain choices. So let's hope he continues that in the final seven as well. And yeah, I think net run rate. It's going to come down to net run rate. So we've got to take victories and we've got to make them as good as possible.
Exactly, and you spoke about other teams playing really well. So just a score update to those guys who are watching. Kanish Bhai has already given that. Our ex-Royal Liam Livingston is playing really well for Punjab right now. He's finishing well for them. So we are playing Punjab very soon, guys, on 7th of May at this very venue at Wankhede. It will be a day game, so that is going to be a cracker of a contest. But
The real El
speaking
Clasico of
about,
IPL. The
yeah,
real El
real El
Clasico of
Clasico.
IPL.
Exactly, real El Clasico. That will like Punjab Ara to Hamesha it really gives us that amazing feeling. But we also got another Super Royal joining with us, Aman Bhai. Welcome to the stream. We'll definitely will love to have you again, like for the rest of the show as well. But speaking about questions, so we have already said that कि आप अपने questions भी बता सकते हो for our panel members, and some questions are already there regarding the playing 11. So this is a big one. So guys, I'm throwing this question. Any one of you can answer. It's up to you. So speaking about the playing 11, Rishikesh has already raised his hand. So Abhay here is saying that can we replace Rian Parag with Nisham and Obed McCoy, who had a terrible game in the last game, with someone like Kuldeep Sen or Saini? So Rishikesh, what do you think will be a logical
See,
move?
I would have given McCoy another chance, but considering that our sixth bowling option is an issue, see, we are actually facing a lot of issues because Rian is our sixth bowler. So yes, I'll go with this combination. I'll bring back Nisham at six, and then Kuldeep Sen, maybe not Saini, but Kuldeep Sen I will bring in place of McCoy.
Interesting. So yeah, I think I really like that change as well. Kanishk is saying that no changes in playing eleven according to him. So he's backing Obed McCoy to do well in this in this next match. Nikunj has made a very cheeky comment that don't talk about replacing Rian in front of Aman. So Aman, your thoughts
Oh,
on
sorry.
Rian Parag, your local star boy? I mean, clearly it like ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि he hasn't really been tested out on the field yet. Like with the bat, we haven't seen him bat on a longer term. Like apart from that Gujarat Titans game, we really didn't see him bat as often as we would have liked to see him. So what do you think we should do with Rian Parag? Do you want us to pack him, or do you feel that yeah, I think now is the time to actually bring in someone else?
Honestly speaking, like as you gave the reasons, like he didn't got many chances to get to bat and all, those are simply like excuses, to be honest, because Riyan Parag got enough opportunities, right? Yashasvi Jaiswal, talking about him, he had first three matches and he was unsuccessful, and he was immediately out of the 11 in the fourth match, and which is totally unfair because we have a Riyan Parag sitting in the 11 and not performing. So truly not look, I am very disappointed with this performance because he was looking in such a great form in the Royals practice sessions, also in the practice match, Ranji Trophy, domestic cricket, everywhere, and performing for the Royals is, I believe, not his cup of tea now. So we can have someone else to play that role and give him some rest, give him some guidance, and hopefully he has a lot of potential, honestly. But the time will come soon, and it's time we give him some rest and some break, and he'll be back soon.
Exactly. यहाँ पे in the comments, Srinitya is saying I think Ara should back him. So she wants Ara to pack Riyan Parag and have no changes in the further matches. Maybe that can also work. We have brought him back again, but it all matters ki how many chances, how many times we are willing to experiment and back a youngster, because we are at such a crucial stage of the season and we don't want any mess ups from here on. So let's see what happens. I mean, let's see about Riyan
I
Parag or
just
whoever you actually play. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just want to add a point. Riyan Parag, you know, he's just 20 years old, 21 odd, I think, and he's batting at number six. And most of the days when he gets to bat, it's just 2 overs or something that he gets to bat. So batting wise, I don't really get any idea. Like I don't understand why are trying to judge him at this point of time. He usually bats at number four, number three in for Assam, and now given the fact that the RR batting lineup is such star-studded, Riyan Parag obviously plays a bit down the order. which is not his usual play. So he also needs time to acclimatize. So if you are trying to replace somebody like Riyan Parag, might as well bring in somebody who is a natural number six. Probably Jiminisham fits the bill. And more than Riyan Parag, I think we desperately need to focus on our fifth bowling option, because there's just 7 matches left before the playoffs, and we really need to get this thing right. Trent Bolt is having off days now and again, and he's leaking over 40-45 runs, I think, in the last 2 matches or so. So we desperately need somebody who can support him. I strongly feel that we should try playing, or at least backing, Navdeep Saini, and try to use him as much as possible in the power play, so that Bolt has less overs to bowl right up front and maybe more before. So that is something which I would advocate for.
Yeah, interesting. I think Navdeep Saini is also a name that I would love to see play more for Rajasthan Royals, because he's been a key figure for RCB and even India in the last few years. And with his experience, I think he can do a good job with being the fifth bowler for us. That is what I think we are facing the problem. And Trent Bolt, you rightly mentioned that he hasn't been getting that much of criticism because of our results going our way. But yeah, Trent Bolt, especially at depth, is a concern. I mean, जब उमेश यादव मार रहे थे in that KKR match, I mean, if they had wickets in hand, then anything could have happened. But yeah, I really get your point about that. So while we're speaking about Viriyan Parag, Mukesh made a mention that Shubham Garwal is also an option who is known for his big hitting down the order. So maybe he can be in place of Riyan Parag. So that is what they are asking for us. So it's a good option, but since you already have an experienced option in Jimmy Neesham also, so maybe the management will go for him rather than testing out with another at least at this point of the season. So let's see what happens. But anyways, moving forward, let us also now involve Mihir here with us. So Mihir, making your debutant. So we have spoken about the key battles, the key matches in the last 7 matches that we played. So let us have a look ahead into the season. So आपके हिसाब से, what do you think is the most awaited fixture for us? Like according to you, which is that most awaited fixtures of Rajasthan Royals? I know you were pretty animated and passionate during that MIRR game in DY Patil. You really love a victory against MI. So do you feel that MIRR is your most awaited match?
Yeah, Sanchit, that will be the match I am really looking forward to on the 30th of April. Unfortunately, I can't join you guys there in the stadium this time. But yeah, I think that will be a match, because we know that the way MI is playing in this season, they are not up to the mark. Their bowling is not up to the mark, and we can expect another Josh Butler special on 30th of April. I think so. जॉस ने जो पहले
Agreed,
किया
and
था, हो
yes,
सकता है वो फिर से करने को, वो शायद फिर से देखने को मिल जाए 30th को.
exactly. And Josh Butter का नाम आपने लिया है, and how can we not actually dedicate this stream to Josh Butler and Yuzvendra Chahal, the two essence of our performances this season so far. I mean, Josh Butler, 491 runs if I'm not wrong. I mean, he's just running away with the orange cap. I mean, if it wasn't for KL Rahul's 100 yesterday, we would have seen a vast difference. But I know that Butler is going to make up for that in the next game. So let us talk about Butler and Yuzi Chahal, guys. So wonderful season with the bat. We clearly missed Josh Butler in the second half of the season last year. I mean, if he was there, who knows? We could have
Yeah.
seen a different Rajasthan Royals performing. But this time, we are so blessed to have Josh Butler in his prime performing for us at the top of the head, and also Yuzvendra Chahal's magic. So, any words you would like to give to these two star performers of the season so far?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I think, firstly, if we look at Yuzi, that game that he took 4 wickets in that over, really transformed the side at that time. And I think he's been on a hat trick a couple of times during the tournament so far. But him backed up with Ashwin. Let's not forget the vital balls that Ashwin. He took some of the key critical wickets to lead to the momentum change. So, like I said, I think it's been a bit of a team performance to help these star individuals. Because if you look at Chahal, he's leading wicket taker, and I think he's going to carry on taking the wickets and hold the cap all the way through. But when you've got support with Ashwin, and we just need to just get that fifth bowler right, and then that will then consolidate our middle part of the innings, and then Josh, he's in the form of his life. amazing, in terms of what he's doing. Some of the shots are just unbelievable, shows great confidence. And I think that's backed up with when Sanju comes in as well, because you can see that he's a bit different this year to the previous seasons. He's really going out and attacking, and he's getting a good strike rate, and that's what it is. When Joss is set up, he sets the whole team up for Hatemeyer and Sanju to come in. Now, if there is a time when Joss doesn't quite get the kind of runs for us, we know that we still got Padikal, and we know we still got Sanju. We've got Hatemeyer, so we've really strengthened our batting. Whereas in the last few seasons, we knew that once one went, two went, three went, and it kind of diminished, and there was like a kind of tally of wickets going through. So great to see them both performing, and wish that it will continue all the way through to get us through to the qualification rounds.
Exactly, and Josh the boss, I mean, he's been delivering for us ever since he joined the Rajasthan Royals in 2018. And Kanishk is mentioning that in the last 8 matches, he has scored 4 centuries. I mean, before 2021, he didn't have any century, and now he already has 5 in T20s if you count international as well. So he's really enjoying. So while we speak about the likes of Buttler and Chahal's heroics, let us also talk about some underappreciated gems of our side. So in that game against Delhi Capitals, we'll speak about that in a little bit of time, because it was like the most controversial game of the season. And I know Upayan will have a lot to say about what happened in the 28th over. But let us speak about 19th over firstly, guys. Prasidh Krishna, he was under huge scrutiny and criticism, especially for the price tag that we bought him. But to bowl the last 2 overs of that match for just 3 runs and 1 wicket, including a maiden wicket over in that 19th over, I mean, phenomenal. The way he bowled, it was really amazing. So, Rishikesh, I mean, Prasidh Krishna, guys, he's I think, really the most underappreciated player of our side so far, and he's going to really enjoy bowling in the rest of the season as well. So, what do you think? What do you have to say about his
I
performance
just
so
have
far?
one comment on this. I just have one
Yeah, yeah.
comment. It's finally good to see a 10 crore bowler who we have paid 10 crores for do well in our jersey. Finally.
Finally, yeah, about time. Yeah, yeah, Rishikesh.
Go ahead.
वेल जब हम देख रहे थे कि जब प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा था, तब भी उसका बॉडी लैंग्वेज ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ या फिर ऐसा कुछ. ही वाज ऑलवेज कॉन्फिडेंट. सो या, आई गेस दिस परफॉर्मेंस व्हिच ही डिलीवर्ड इन द लास्ट गेम वाज कमिंग सून. So yes, from now on it will get carried on from here, and we can see more performances like this. Actually, not in the last game, also the one before that, he bowled the 19th over and it was really well, really great. So yeah, we are seeing a good matured death bowler for us along with Bolt.
Exactly, along with Bolt. So hopefully Bolt actually comes good, because last 2 games have been a little bit disappointing from his standard. So the next game we
Actually,
play
that's
is
the
in
beauty of
Pune.
our team. Even if Bolt
Yeah,
is not performing, someone like Bolt is not performing, our other bowlers are taking responsibility and then coming back in the game. Also, another underrated player, I'll say, Ashwin. He's also
exactly.
bowling phenomenally well. So yeah, so all our 5 bowlers are 5 different bowlers, and together we are, doing great. So we must say that.
Exactly. And R. Ashwin, yes, I mean, yes, he may not be amongst the wicket taking list, but the economical overs, the partnership जो भी उनकी चाहल के साथ होती थी in that middle overs, it has been really amazing. So next game, luckily for us, it's in Pune. The last time we played in Pune was against SRH in the first game of the season, and the star performance for us with the ball were Trent Bolt. He bowled 4 overs for 23 with taking 2 wickets. Prasidh 4 overs 16 runs 2 wickets, and Yuzi 4 overs 22 runs and 3 wickets. So finally, after all those batting friendly tracks we've been getting at Brabourne and Wankhede, we have finally got to Pune. So अभी I think थोड़ा ऐसे आराम से हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि yeah, this can be a good thing for our bowlers. But speaking about that Delhi Capitals game, as you mentioned, that it was a pretty controversial finish to that, and I would love to have this panel open regarding that key decision at the end of the match. So everything was divided. Like some were saying it was a no ball, some were saying it wasn't a no ball. So Upayan, I would like you to open the discussion. What do you think happened, and do you think the whatever the call that umpire made was right or wrong?
I think umpiring aberrations have been a key part of this game. It's been there since the time that the game has existed. So, there will be moments when umpires have made decisions which have impacted the game to a less deserving side. And, whether it was a no ball or not, that is something that they have decided. And clearly it was not, which is why we are on the winning side. But, I personally feel that what Rishabh Pant did wrong was break the momentum by just calling his players back to the dressing room. I think that was something which could have been avoided if he was really intent on winning. Sure, I mean, I get why he did that, because 18 of 3 is far more difficult than 17 of 4. And I strongly believe that if he had somebody like a Ricky Ponting around him who could actually advise him that don't make these calls, it probably would have helped Delhi Capitals a bit more. But good for us, we ended up winning.
Exactly, good for us, and I do agree with that. I know that lots of Delhi Capitals fans I have on my social media platform. So ऐसे बोल नहीं सकते कि it was like an unfair call, but because honestly बोलूँ तो like I was at the ground at that time and I personally felt it was a no ball, and we got quite lucky with it. But I wouldn't actually be too guilty because there have been times in the last few years where we were at the receiving end of a poor umpire's call. Even just recently against LSG, जो white ball call नहीं जो दिया गया था, which wasn't a white ball. The next ball, Avesh Khan hit for a six, and who knows, we could have been at the losing end if Kuldeep Sen didn't ball that over well at the last. So yes, we have the like I said, umpire's call. It was a blunder, maybe or maybe not a blunder, but yeah, Rishabh Pant did break the momentum by stopping the game midway. But it's all done and dusted. We got the 2 points, and for us, that matters the most. And ऐसे matches जीतना ही, I think, really brings the teams together. So there have been times where we played well for like 39 overs of the match and still ended up on the losing side. So it's good that even when we don't play well, we still end up winning. So that is what we really want from Rajasthan Royals. So hopefully this will keep on being the same thing for us. But anyways, moving forward, we got Aman back with us. So yeah, someone was saying that Aman bhai kahan gaye? Where is Aman? So yeah, here is Aman. He's facing a little bit of network issues here. So Aman, throwing this question to you from Garvit here. If you have the Royals up against each other, like Rajasthan Royals again and RCB tomorrow, so it's the game of the season, as we rightly said earlier. So what do you think will happen tomorrow? Do you think the bowlers are going to dominate, or do you think the batters will have a push? You there, Aman? Yes, I think he is not able to hear us. Anyways, Mihir, you can answer this if you want.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the game which we are playing tomorrow against RCB. First of all, it is in Pune, I think. Yeah, is it in Pune? So Pune का जो है थोड़ा ऐसा बोलते हैं कि थोड़ा ना sideways में movement मिलता है because हवा चलता है. Open ground है, हवा चलता है. So I think the bowlers gonna dominate because they have also Harshal Patel in their side. We have Trent Bolt, who is who is who has a specialty in his swing, especially when his first over he can trap Duplessis or Anuj Rawat out, or if by chance if Virat Kohli is opening tomorrow, then if we can get his wicket tomorrow, that will be so good for us. So I think the bowler is gonna dominate tomorrow. Um, we can see Trent Bolt taking another 2-3 wickets tomorrow.
Exactly, hoping for that. And since you brought the topic about tomorrow's match, let us discuss about the toss. I mean, yaar, क्या हो गया? Like we are winning. Yes, we are
किस्मत ही
happy. We
खराब
are
है.
winning the match. But Sanju Samson at the toss, man. कितने toss हम हार चुके? Like in the 7 matches we played,
छह
we
toss
lost six
Oh,
six
seven.
tosses, and the
Is it
only
six?
toss on yeah only toss we won, we managed to lose that game. So
GT.
let's like अभी तो मतलब hopes ही नहीं रख सकते यार toss की. Like whatever happens. So let us just throw this question, guys. So let's say we win the toss tomorrow. What do you think the decision should be? Because Kanish Kher is saying that RR should bat first, do what is really working out for them. Don't try to experiment, not against RCB. So, do you agree with him? Do you feel that we should ideally bat first, or do you feel that if we win the toss, we have to chase? What do you think, guys? Anyone can answer.
I'll go for this. I personally believe that guys like Josh Hazelwood or Harshal Patel, they are going to be lethal if you try to chase in a pitch which is usually favoring the bowlers. So मेरे ख्याल से we should just keep doing what we are good at, maybe bat first. Reason being, Josh Butler is, I mean, he's very good at playing against pace. So, starting में अगर if you get somebody like a Hazelwood or a Siraj, he's likely to go all the way out. Like, you can expect 60 up within 4 5 overs. So, play to our strengths. We've seen that we are one side which is not really good at tackling. What's his name? Yeah, Harshal Patel. So that will be something which we should be wary of. Ideally, I would want to see Hetmeyer bat against Harshal Patel. I mean, that is a good matchup to have. But overall, I think RCB is not exactly a side that is good at chasing, given how their batting looks like, except for of course Dinesh Karthik. He's always a factor. But going by what lies in their strengths and weaknesses, I think RCB is a much more bowling heavy side than a batting heavy side, at least in this year. So it's better to face the bowlers first.
Exactly, and we have already seen lots of comment. Keep badla lena chahiye RCB se. So to give it in a context, there is a stat that since 2019 we haven't really won against RCB. So the record currently is 5-0 in favor of Royal Challengers Bangalore. So we hope to see Rajasthan Royals winning for this one because this is a big one for both the teams. RCB is coming off a very forgettable game. Let's just say that to put it in a better way. So they just got bowled out for 68. We never know what to expect, but they can crumble or they can be back at their very best. So we can't really expect what the response will be from them. So we have to ideally just focus on our strength and weaknesses. So Upayan is saying that we should do what really works out well for him. For us, Nikuj Bhai is saying chase against RCB. This can be the best team when we can start chasing. They might again give us 70. Okay, so that's a cheeky one at the end. Aman bhai, since we have you here, so do you think you agree with this that we should look to chase if we win the toss against RCB?
Not at all. Like this is something like, all right, it was a bad day for RCB that they got a short total of 68, but it's not every day that you get a treat like this that they'll end up in 70 to 80 runs target and will have a good fortunate win. But we should stick to what we are doing best, as Upan we are already mentioned. Like we should bat first and give them a good total. And yes, fortunately, Josh Butler will once again show his class, and the momentum that he's getting forward, let that go because he's doing that massive scores in the first innings. So let that go, and let's do what we do best.
Exactly. Let's do what we do best. Is what
Also,
it has been the Royals way. Yeah. Rishi.
also, I won't be surprised if RCB wins the toss and decides to bat first. Actually, given that we
Yeah,
are
maybe
defending the
that
pitch
can.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, that can also work because let's be fair, guys. Pune is that ground where dew doesn't really play a factor, so we don't know what to expect. But there is a big but because the last few days it has really rained a lot in Pune, especially in the evening time. So thoda sa moisture rahega on the outfield and even on the pitch. So we can't really expect a similar kind of a wicket in Pune. So because of the weather condition, maybe teams would like to just test it out by bowling first, even though there is no dew factor. So I'm not sure the toss is going to be a huge factor in tomorrow's game, just because of the weather forecast. And I really don't mind even if we lose the toss tomorrow. But personally, I would like us to chase. I agree with what Aman has to say. Yes, we didn't really chase a lot. We only chased once, and against Gujarat, we overcomplicated things by sending Ashwin at number three and everything. But I believe that if we keep the same batting order, we can chase down any kind of a target and in mind. So I think we should ideally win the toss and ball first, irrespective of whatever happens. But even if we lose the toss, it's fine. We should do what we do the best. Jeva is asking, how do you solve the six bowler problem? I think Rishikesh has already given a fantastic explanation to that. Maybe Jimmy Neesham can be that option we can explore if Obed McCoy gets dropped and an Indian pacer comes in. So maybe Jimmy Neesham can be that solution for that six bowler problem. Yeah, Aman, you want to add something?
Yes, I just wanted to add that, like Jimmy Neesham, we have another kiwi flavor to our team, which is Daryl Mitchell, and he's been looking very good in the World Cup as well, and also he's been looking good in the Royals net. So he can be a surprising performer for us, and he can be one of the best, because we are not only struggling with that six bowler, because but we are also struggling with our batting depth. Like as we saw in that game, I believe against Gujarat Titans, where our middle order kind of collapsed, and then we didn't got the total chased, or we didn't got the proper total we wanted. So Daryl Mitchell can also bat at the end and give us that batting depth, because R Ashwin, okay, he's a good all rounder, but no, it's not every time that he'll perform. So we can have Daryl Mitchell in, because Jimmy Neesham was not looking at the best of his form in the previous match that he played.
Exactly, yeah. So Jimmy Neesham or maybe Daryl Mitchell can be an option, but there is one more headache that we have to really focus upon. So I mean, you can see already in the comment section about that particular thing. So people are asking, what about Kultanai's replacement? Are we going to have one? So let us now talk about that number seven spot. So when Kultanai got injured after that first match, we really feared the worst. But at the moment, Rajasthan Royals aren't really that focused on getting a number seven replacement in a hurry. So, guys, what do you think? Like, should we actually go for a replacement, or do you think that we should back the players that we have right now? Obed McCoy is there, Kuldeep Sen and Navdeep Singh are there. Because I think if we back the current lot, we really compromise a lot on our batting depth. So, what do you think we should do? So, here Rajasthan Royal, very creative username, has said that David Vise, Carlos Brathwaite are some of the options we can explore. So, I'm keeping the panel open. Anyone of you can answer. Do you think we should go for a replacement? And if yes, who do you think it could be?
Yeah, Holland.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Look, I think it's been interesting. We haven't. It's not been open in terms of the conversation about replacing Colton, which is, you'd expect some teams to come out and say, "Yeah, we're looking to replace." So, I think that shows that they have a lot of faith in the squad. But if we are looking out, then yeah, David Visa definitely. I mean, he's proven in the IPO as well, and he does it all around, all over the world. So that's a definite contender for me, for sure.
Exactly, and he has done really well in the World Cup for Namibia, if I'm not wrong,
Mm.
a few months ago as well. Abhay is saying Kane Richardson can be a good replacement, but I think with Kane Richardson, uh, whatever happened last season when he actually went away from the league, I think that actually contributed for him not being picked, if I'm not wrong, along with Zampa. But yeah, Kane Richardson, our ex Rajasthan Royals, if people are forgetting, he used to play for RR all those days back in 2013, 2014. So maybe he can be a good option as well. But Garvit has a pretty interesting question here, guys. So, does not having a great fifth bowler is a concern for RR? Because Oben McCoy, Saini, and Kuldeep Sen didn't do so much well. Is it impacting RR's bowling, giving more runs in death overs? So, death bowling is, I think, we really should be focusing upon. So, yeah, we have been winning matches, but we haven't done really that well when it comes to death bowling. So, what do you think, guys, can be the solution for this? Because, as Upan mentioned earlier, that Trent Bolt isn't really that giving that much of confidence bowling at the death. So should we actually keep persisting with Trent Bolt in death, or do you feel that it's high time we should look at someone else to bowl at death and maybe finish Bolt's quota of overs in the first few overs as well? What do you think can be the solution?
Personally, I think Navdeep Saini used to be a good bowler of death at least a few years back. I'm not sure how good he is right now. I hope working with Malinga has probably helped it. But if you are probably considering bringing in somebody like a Navdeep Saini back in the team, and expecting Prasidh Krishna and Navdeep to bowl the 19th and the 20th over, then it kind of makes sense. Yes, Malinga hota to samal leta. Unfortunately, he is not playing for us. But yeah, ideally I would have loved to see him wear the Royals jersey. So I think Navdeep Saini is a good option. Maybe we should continue to back him, because he's an experienced bowler. He's been in these situations, and let's just face it. In our last match, the fifth bowler option technically costed us 72 runs in 4 overs. Navdeep Saini would probably go for 50 runs less. So yeah.
Exactly, Saini. I think we will see more of him in the season going forward. So I think there will be some changes that we can see in the playing 11. Maybe not tomorrow, but going down the on the line. So the next two matches we play again are against two teams which didn't have a good outing in the last game. So we don't really know what to expect. But it's RCB tomorrow and obviously MI on Sunday in DY Patil once again. But this time it's gonna be a night fixture. So it's still a long way to go. But yeah, maybe Saini can be an option there. But anyways, guys, let us also now talk about our predictions for the end of the season. So we began the stream by talking about our probable finish in the top four. But let us also talk about our predictions for the top four entirely, not just about RR, but even the other teams as well. So Mir, starting with you, your probable top four for this season, and who would it be?
So yeah, my top four will be GT. We all have not expected that this team will this team will make to the playoffs, especially the squad they have picked in the auction. But I think alongside GT, we will be there. So GT, RR, SRH, and RCB will be the top four for me.
Interesting. GT, RR, RCB. Nice. Good names. Before we move to winner here, Kanish bhai, yes, Admire के बारे में तो I think हमने बात किया था शादी में. I think someone on the panel mentioned that he's been delivering well and he's such a wonderful asset to have. I remember back when we got him in the auction, a lot of people actually said that why him? We could have got a better option as well, but he has proved all of them wrong and he's such a wonderful asset to have. I mean, he has not only played the role of a finisher but also played the role of an anchor as well. Let us not forget that innings he played against RCB, if I'm not wrong, with that in that partnership with Josh Buttler to get us to 169, and also against Lucknow where we were I think 60 for 4 or something like that. He anchored that innings and got us to a good total of 160 odd runs. So Hetmeyer wonderful in that lower order for us, and hopefully we continue to see him deliver similarly because Hetmeyer in the middle order, Josh Butler at the top, and with the ball you have Prasid, Bolt, and Yuzvendra Chahal and Ashwin doing wonders. So we really are looking like a good team altogether. So hoping that continues for us. But coming back to the topic in hand, Vinay, your top four predictions?
Yeah, I think top four. I think we'll see the two new teams in there for me, Gujarat and Lucknow, with Rajasthan Royals, and I'm just liking the way that SRH are finally getting their form together after losing the first few games. And we all know in long tournaments that teams that kind of do well, they do kind of tend to lose their first couple of games. So I'm just kind of seeing a momentum shift there. So I think they're the four that I'm going to like to go for to see go through.
Interesting. So pretty much some common names in that talk. But I'm waiting for someone to just pick some team out of the blue who is not really in that frame of finishing in the top four. Let's see what the others have. Aman,
Nobody
what
is
do you think
speaking
about your
Mumbai.
top?
Nobody is speaking Mumbai.
I think it's done and done. Even the MI fans weren't. Even the most optimistic MI fan would actually back MI to finish. I mean, they should be lucky if they not don't finish last at this stage. But I think if CSK wins today, then it gets from bad to worse for them when it comes to finishing last. But yeah, Aman, what about your top?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, like I am exactly with that number because as you mentioned, like one to pick from those four blue teams. So firstly, I'll confirm Rajasthan Royals to go to the playoffs and Gujarat Titans, of course, because these two teams have been the top two teams. Of course, Gujarat Titans have been, they have been a little higher than us if you see according to the points. But yes, these two are the best teams looking in this tournament. Then I'll go for Sunrisers Hyderabad, as Vinay mentioned. Sunrisers Hyderabad is looking very good in this tournament now. And the fourth surprising pick would be Delhi Capitals. That's of course a little bit risky regarding our next match, which is against them. But talking about them, they really have a decent squad this time, and they know how to come back. So like they can truly come back, I believe. So yeah, DC will be one crucial pick by me.
Aman, let me just be honest. I was just waiting for someone to talk about Delhi Capitals because even I feel that they do have something in them to actually spark a comeback. And also KKR guys, let us not forget KKR. They have a habit of messing up in the first leg of the season, and then second leg when they just come back out of nowhere. So DC and KKR are I think two of the teams to watch out for when it comes to making a comeback. These two teams have done it in the past. So Delhi Capitals, I think currently they have played 7 matches and got 6 points. So the gap between RCB and DC is a matter of 4 points, but that can change a lot in the next 2 games. So I really like what Aman said about Delhi. But Upayan, what about your top four?
Mostly it's like Mihir only, RR, GT, SRH, and RCB. But I have a hunch that RCB might mess it up. 68 all out. I mean, that is something which can break your momentum. Just like DC, they've been on a losing streak, and that can also mess it up for them. My dark horse for this will be KKR, because I have a hunch that if anybody can make a comeback, it is them. Because last year also they were in a similar position, played 7 matches, lost five, won two, and this year they've played eight and lost five, won three. So they know how to come back. Brendan McCullum is one of the sharpest minds in the game. So if anybody can make a comeback, it can probably be KKR, but they need to sort out a lot of issues in order to reach that position.
Exactly, KKR. We have seen that in the last season. They just came back and went to the final and nearly won it altogether as well. So Kanish Bhai is saying that by फिर तो Punjab, yes, Punjab is also there, but it all depends on what they do today. So they are playing against CSK. So if they lose tonight, then CSK and Punjab effectively have same points in hand. So you can also count CSK for that matter. But for Punjab, it really looks difficult because the way that they have played in the last few matches, they are not looking that well of a side, just like KKR. But it's difficult for Punjab to be very honest. But everything can change from this match onwards. But I'm surprised that a lot hasn't been said about LSG because I feel that Lucknow Super Giants. I think some of you have them in the top four, but it's all about Lucknow Super Giants or RCB for that matter at this moment. So Rishikesh, you have the final prediction. Do you have Lucknow
Yeah.
in your top four?
Yes, and I agree with Upayan actually. RCB might mess up. I was about to say that. So my picks are, of course, Rajasthan Royals, Gujarat, LSG, and SRH. And we'll be facing Gujarat in the finals.
In Ahmedabad. Nice. Nikunj bhai, आपके लिए खुश खबरी है. So Nikunj is from Gujarat and is definitely going to be the first person to book that match final tickets. That is for sure. So yeah, I think Gujarat. I think it's the most. Let us talk about the most surprising team as well. So since we have, I think, 15 minutes, let us also talk about the most surprising performance of the league so far. So I know that there will be lots of you will be saying, "Arey yaar, Gujarat Titans is the most surprising," because we had this conversation. We were live actually after the auctions ended, and a lot of us said that Gujarat Titans were looking the most weakest side in the league, but now they are at the top of the table. So, guys, according to you, who have been the most surprising performers of the season so far? Personally, for me, it was Gujarat and SRH. What about you, Mihir?
In terms of winning games or losing games.
any like context खुद बना दो चलेगा
So
वो.
yeah, Gujarat and Mumbai, I'll say, in their okay, respective orders. So Gujarat, yeah, as you said, we were all thinking that they have too many all rounders, so like too many cooks spoil the broth, something like that. But no, they have been handling at that very well, and we are saying that they are at the top of the table, the well balanced side, bowling, batting, everything is doing really well. And about Mumbai, well, even I was shocked the way they are playing. Like, usually they used to dominate the game, but I don't know what's happening with them. Maybe some auction strategy or something here or there.
एग्जैक्टली एंड वी होप दैट कि ये जो प्रॉब्लम है एक और मैच तक चलेगी बिकॉज जैसे राजस्थान रॉयल यहाँ पे कह रहे हैं कि नेक्स्ट मैच फॉर एमआई इज अगेंस्ट आरआर इन डीवाई पाटिल सो वी डोंट माइंड देम लूजिंग 9 मैचेस एंड उसके बाद यू कैन विन द नेक्स्ट 4 मैचेस ये चलेगा लाइक जो करना है करो बट डोंट विन अगेंस्ट अस दैट्स व्हाट वी आर सेइंग but yeah Garvit is saying Gujarat Titans will lose the next 3-4 games I think so he's hoping that Gujarat will mess up just like how there are lots of teams that actually messed up. Unfortunately, we were also one of the teams which messed up in 2015, if I recall
14.
correctly. So we went 2014 and 20, both 2014 and 15. So 15, I think we won 7 matches in the first, 5 matches in the first seven matches we played, and then we managed to just mess it up and then finished fourth. वो भी ऐसे मर के गए थे. So yeah, I think Gujarat can also be at the receiving end. So still a long way to go. But anyways, guys, 10 minutes to go. So let us have the last segment of the day. So this is going to be a very interesting one because I think this is going to be the first time where we'll be discussing about this on a realistic term. So we got the World Cup coming up in November. It's a big one in Australia. So, what do you think, guys? Who can be those Royals who might get picked up for that World Cup squad for Team India? If we talk about it, so Upayan, you can start off with the discussion. Yuzi Chahal, Ashwin.
I think even before Rohit Sharma boards the flight to Australia, Yuzi Chahal makes his, like, he's definitely boarding that flight. I mean, you can't ask for a better performance from any leg spinner at this point of time. Kuldeep has come close, certainly. Rahul Chahar, Varun Chakravarti nowhere near in the scene. Yuzvendra Chahal is definitely making it in the first 11. So that is definitely going to happen. Apart from that, I'm not sure exactly if if Team India really needs Ravichandran Ashwin in white ball, because you have guys like Akshar Patel and Jadeja who are more prominent hard hitters than Ashwin. Ashwin is economical, but he is not exactly a wicket taker in terms of T20 or ODIs for that matter. I personally don't see him boarding this flight. Devdutt Patikal is also an option if he can. He has 7 more matches and probably a few more matches in the playoffs. So if he can make it big out there, maybe, just maybe, he can be considered. I don't really see Ishan Kishan boarding the flight to Australia. So there's still some option left for an opening batsman to go alongside. KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma might be there, but given the form of Rohit, he might want to drop himself at 3. I'm not sure what Kohli is going to do. I have a hunch that he might drop himself entirely out of the World Cup, because a person like him, a team man like him, he's not going to be the burden of the team if he's not able to fix his form. So I still think the opening batsman spot is up for grabs, and Venkatesh Iyer is not doing well. Rituraj Gaikwad has, I think he just got out today, so I don't really see any other person in contention. Maybe he might not make it into the first 11, but Devdutt Patikal can always be a part of that squad. So fingers crossed. And of course,
Exactly.
skipper Sanju Samson. Sorry,
I
Exactly. I
was
was just
waiting for
going to
that.
make this point. I was waiting
I
for
forgot.
that because comment section, yeah, comment section where people are actually saying that Sanju Samson has a genuine chance just because of his competitor Ishan Kishan. It's really not working well out for young Kishan. I mean, getting bought at 15 crores, price tag pressure, plus he's not really finding that freedom he used to get in the past. So it's not really looking well for young Ishan Kishan. So yeah, maybe Sanju Samson can be an option there. And Prasidh Krishna के बारे में भी काफी लोग कह रहे हैं. So he's saying that he can be kept as reserves, and we have seen him bowling really well, especially at depth for Rajasthan Royals. So maybe he can just edge his way into that squad. So Rishikesh, what about you? Your probable Rajasthan Royals players to board that flight to Australia.
Well, I guess Sanju Samson and Yuzvendra Chahal, no doubt. But yeah, I doubt about Prasidh because there are already many bowlers who are also doing good, who are already in the eyes of the selectors. Someone like Mohammad Shami is doing good. Bumrah will makes his way into the playing 11 straight away. So I don't think so. There is room for Prasidh Krishna, but yes, he can be in the reserves. So yeah, let's see. It will be very interesting when the team will be out.
Exactly, and काफी टाइम तो है जरूर. तो राजस्थान रॉयल्स saying संजू एंड यूजी. तो या यूजी तो मतलब रहेगा ही. That's not a problem. Before we move, I think Abhay is saying Sanchit bhai, you and Aman didn't give me reply on Insta, but Jake always gives me reply. अरे अमन भाई, I'm really sorry. मतलब अभी फिर से मैसेज कर रहा. I'll definitely reply on you. Even Aman will
Actually,
reply you as well. So
definitely.
Where
yeah,
So,
so
Sanchit
so
and
sorry.
Aman are bigger celebrities than Jake, you should know that.
अरे क्या बात कर दिया आपने यार. So I hope Jake isn't watching here, Upan. So maybe this will be the last time I'll be hosting because of that. But anyways, keeping the same topic here. Vinay, according to you, which Rajasthan
Yeah.
Royals player can board that flight?
Yeah, so for India perspective, look, it's got to be Yuzi, isn't it? And Sanju. Just keeping my international hat on, being from England, obviously Joss, without question, and Bolt for New Zealand. So what we've got is a nice blend of international presence in our team, which really will help us in our IPL. But it's really good to kind of see Chahal improve his point. I'd love him to prove his point even more against RCB in the next match tomorrow. But yeah, for me, it's Chahal and Samson. Like to see Krishna as well, but there's too many bowling options for him to have the opportunity, I think.
Exactly. And Vinay, ping you on. So we know that you
Yeah.
are from the UK, and we want to ask you this about Jaws Butler. So we are enjoying the form that Josh Butler currently is in. But after the IPL, we should be really wary about his form because he, in this form of his life, can really do wonders for that England side. So, what are your
Yeah.
expectations from England's point of view with this form that currently Josh Butler is in right now?
Yeah, I mean, if you, it's the firstly with Joss, with being the form that he's in, and that can only make England's case a lot better for the World Cup. And then you've got Livingston as well. We're going to steer away from Rajasthan Royals for a second and talk about the England team, but Livingston and his IPL experience and what he's going through at the moment, I think that's great as well. So, I think England are forming a good squad for this World Cup, and and Joss is basically, like we said, in the form of his life, and he just feels like he's got this. He just senses like he's got this freedom to play his shots, and he's just executing them so well. So, it's just amazing to see. So, yeah, looking forward to hopefully see him carry it all the way through to November. Let's hope. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully not against
If
India.
yeah, I was just gonna mention that. Yeah, जितना खेलना है अभी मार ले. No matter how many centuries you still have left in your tank, whatever you have, just
Yeah.
finish it off in the IPL. Then after that, we'll be happy to see you go for a duck, especially if it's against against India for that matter. But yeah, I mean Josh Butler, yes, I agree with what Rajasthan Royal has to say. Best decision they made was sending Josh
Yeah.
for opening.
Just
One of the
and
game,
just before. Yeah, sorry. Just before the World Cup as well, I think India tour England as well for a few games. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, going to go across to that as well in the summer. So that's going to be really good as well to the kind of warm up for the World Cup. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Exactly. We'll be seeing lots of Royals also coming up against each other. So hopefully for
Yeah.
that will be a wonderful tour as well. But Mihir, coming to you, your probable Rajasthan Royals players who can make that flight.
For India, I think Hannah Chahal will make straight into the playing 11. There is no doubt in that. He is way ahead from Rahul Chahar or from Chakravarti. And I want to see Sanju Samson into the squad of India because the way Rohit Sharma backed him in the India versus Sri Lanka series. We have seen 2-3 statements of Rohit Sharma backing the Sanju Samson. So I think there will be a Sanju Samson for our Indian side, way ahead of Ishan Kishan, looking his current form of Ishan Kishan. And for England, I think there will be Josh Butler. There is no doubt in that. For New Zealand, there will be Trent Bolt. So yeah, these are the 4 or 5 Royals I am really looking forward to.
Exactly, and even for New Zealand, we have Jimmy Neesham and Daryl Mitchell, जैसे अमन ने कहा था. Let us not forget these two players' contribution in that semi-final against was it England, if I'm not wrong. That partnership that they had, Darren Mitchell
England.
and Jimmy Neesham, they just
Yeah.
completely stole that game away. So yeah, I think lots of foreign Rajasthan Royals players are also among the contention. But before we ask Aman, yeah, about that Josh Butler thing, I think it happened against Delhi in 2018. It was a rain-affected match, and we really needed to chase 12 overs, 140 or something odd runs, and we actually sent both Josh Butler and Ben Stokes to open in that match, if I'm
Darcy
not
short,
wrong.
I
And
guess, right?
Darcy shot, yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
yeah, it was 2 overseas players, and Stokes I think opened against one of the other teams, if I,
CSK?
in that same season, CSK, yeah,
CSK.
CSK. Yeah, so yeah, I think that really worked for us. Josh scored a 50 in just 17 or 18 balls, if I'm not wrong. And since then, six matches in a row, he scored a half century, and तब से मतलब वो हीरा बन चुका है हमारे लिए. So, yeah, I think अगर ना होता तो who knows. But yeah, coming to you, Aman. Lastly, your Rajasthan Royals players who can make that flight to Australia.
Sanju and Yuzi, of course, and Sanju, I exactly agree with the mention that media made that how Rohit Sharma kind of backed him, like as Rohit Sharma mentioned that he is a true potential and he can bat so well. So yeah, if Sanju gets that same backing from Rohit Sharma, he's gonna be lethal in the World Cup. And I just want to make one mention that we should not like figure out his playing spot, because we need him at number 3 for India, not at number 4. At 3, he's more a better batsman than at number 4. And talking about Prasidh Krishna, so I don't believe that he's as effective in the T20 format as he is in the 50 over format, in the one day format. obviously he's doing good for the Royals. He's been pretty good for the Royals. Obviously, just remembering that 19th over of his, that wicket maiden over against, our in our last match, which truly saved us. But yeah, I believe it's this time it's gonna be tough for him. But wishing him all the best, and will be more than happy if he also gets selected.
Exactly. I think every RR fan will be happy if Sanju Samson makes that trip to Australia. But still a long way to go. We still got an entire half of the season left for us, and hopefully we will see Sanju Samson lifting that trophy at the end of the season, and it will be a wonderful tribute to the great man himself, Shane Warne. So hopefully that happens. But lastly, yeah, Sachin bhai, आपके comment ले लेते हैं. So sorry for missing your last comment. So, how many guys are ARA supporters in 2008? I think everyone apart from Aman here. Aman, I think you were born in 2008, if I'm not wrong. Is that right?
Exactly. So I know my family says that I am the lucky charm for Rajasthan Royals, that I was born in 2008, and 2008 was the trophy winning year for Rajasthan Royals. So yeah, I was born in 2008. I didn't had any idea about cricket that time.
Exactly. Aman bhai, you are the lucky charm, and hoping that this will actually continue for Rajasthan Royals, because 2008, I mean, anyone cannot forget whatever we actually achieved in that season. So that was the start of something new. We actually, Saint Warne's team actually made us believe that it doesn't matter to if you don't have a star-studded team. What matters is you need to have a wonderful team put together, and that is exactly what we have this season as well. We don't, we yeah, we have individual brilliances, but most importantly, we have a team that can actually challenge for that title. So hopefully this year we can bring the cup back home. And on that note, guys, it has been a wonderful session. We just crossed the 1 hour mark, and it's gonna be a wonderful second half of the season for us. So big game against RCB coming up. Hopefully we break that jinx against RCB, finally winning against them after 3 long years, and have a wonderful season up ahead. So thanks Mir, thanks Vinay, thanks Aman, Upayan and Rishikesh for joining us on the panel, and thank you everyone who tuned in the comment section as well. Abhay, Kanish, Sachin, Rajasthan Royal, Garvit Bhai, Sunitya, Sonu, Kavesh, and everyone who I forgot to name also. So it has been a wonderful discussion. Hoping that we continue to keep having such interactions, and hoping the next time we do it, we will be doing it with a smile by entering into the playoffs, or maybe even lifting the trophy at the end. So let's hope for the best. This is Sanchit Desai, your host for the day, signing off. Make sure to like this video, guys. Subscribe to our channel, Royals Fan TV. Follow the Super Royals page on Twitter and Instagram, so you don't miss out some amazing contests. Just recently, we are doing some free giveaway tickets for the Rajasthan Royals matches. So आज का तो मतलब अगर मिस हुआ रहेगा, don't worry. 6 matches और है. You can just enroll that forms, and who knows, you can be that lucky fan to get a chance to enter the stadiums and support the team along with us. So hoping guys to keep having your support. This is Sanchit Desai, your host, signing off. You have been a wonderful host.